Okay, here we go. Play.
This tiny species of frog is smaller than a thumbnail.
Ooh, that's it. That is small.
So, these frogs
Not
have
fat
evolved
like you.
an ingenious way of defending themselves. And it starts with dinner.
Dinner. Oh, is that something you've never had ever before in your life, Kevin? Ever? Not even once?
What it eats.
Ooh, it's
It has a
superpower.
taste for
Okay,
insects,
calm down. It's not
ants,
Iron Man.
termites, and beetles.
Beetles.
As it digests them, it absorbs poisons, highly toxic alkaloids.
All right,
that
get
the
to the good
bugs pick
stuff.
up from the plants they consume.
Get to the good stuff. Where are the poison
With more
darts?
than 100 species of poisonous plants in the rainforest, there's quite a supply.
Okay, we got it. Keep going.
Porous,
It's porous.
so the toxins seep out of the frog.
Ooh, seep
making
out of
its
the... I
skin
don't like that.
lethal
I
to
don't
the
like that
touch.
visual. I don't like it.
Indigenous hunters carefully coat their arrowheads with this poison, which is how this toxic tot got its name.
Oh! We're using the poison darts, not the frogs. I understand now. Okay, welcome to episode 51. Kitty. Kevin, you're a good kitty. What's up, guys? Welcome to episode 50. No, I said 51. It's actually 52. So that was wrong. It's episode 52. Shoot, I messed up the intro. That's so frustrating. It's Panic Meister cooking up some sweaty spaghetti. Yo, guys, so here's the deal. I, last week, was talking about poison dart frogs, and I explained my deep knowledge of how they attack people. They definitely have darts, and they go, and they shoot them into your neck, and then you die from the poison. And my friend Jackie was like, that's not what happens. And I'm like, Jackie, first of all, I know everything about frogs, okay? I know everything about everything. I host a podcast, and that means that I know everything, and that all of my advice should be taken to heart. People should listen to me without questioning anything. That's what happens when you're a podcast host, right? Don't question anything I say, and all my advice is good advice. So Jackie, calm down with that shit. I know about poison dart frogs, okay? But as we just heard in that National Geographic video, they don't shoot the darts, right? The frogs are not out there shooting the darts. It is that we the people are coating our darts. I don't know why I instantly just had the image in my head of just like a Saturday night at the bar playing darts. Like, hold on, let me get the frog. I want this one to really count. We take our darts and we rub it on the frog. I've already forgot what it said in the video. Okay, so the frog has poison on it somehow, seeping. I remember the word seep. It eats things. It becomes poison. But what's the difference between venomous and poisonous, right? There's a difference. Okay. So the frog has poison seeping out of its skin, and we as humans take our darts at the bar on Saturday night and we rub it on the frog. And then we throw our darts into people's necks. And then we win the game. Anyway, yay, we're learning things here on episode 52. I'm so mad that I called it episode 51. That makes me so mad. These are things that get to me. These are things that bother me, but it's okay. It's all good. Kevin's here. He's staring at me from behind the camera. He's mad that I'm talking so loud. It's all good, dude. It's all good. Come back. I got you a pizza blanket. I got you pepperoni pizza blankets. You have everything you could ever want here. Come join me. Come join me. You know, so Kevin's actually the least maintenance cat in this house right now. Because if you can remember, my closet collapsed in on itself like a dying star, and so now all my clothes are laid out on a folding table like I work at Abercrombie and Fitch. Whoa, my voice. This is the first I've talked today. I'm actually doing this podcast instead of going back to bed because I'm so tired. I just want to sleep for like 5 hours. But instead of going back to bed, I'm going to talk to people on the internet. So, and he's gone, and Kevin's gone. he's like, I was in for a second, and then the vocal warm up started, and I have to be out. So I'm doing this instead of going back to bed. Gosh, what was I saying? Oh my gosh, I totally lost train of thought. Oh, can you cue TJ Maxx real quick, please?
You should go TJ Maxx. You should go.
Oh, yeah. Okay, yeah. I reminded myself. Speaking of TJ Maxx, speaking of clothes, my clothes are all folded up on a folding table like I work at American Eagle, like I work at Abercrombie & Fitch, like I'm folding clothes on a table and selling cologne outside of the store to only pretty people who are allowed in my Abercrombie store. So, girl Kevin, she's here somewhere. She has been just like sleeping on all my clothes. And I'm like, girlfriend, stop this nonsense. You are white. Don't call me white. She's white. She's a white cat and she's got white fur. And the white fur gets on everything because your girl mostly has black clothing. I have so many pieces of black clothing. It's a problem. My wardrobe's just kind of gone that direction. It's like that video it's like an SNL sketch, right? Where like there's a bunch of crayons and they're like, we are the colors of the rainbow or something. And then the black one just comes in and like threatens them all with a knife. It's good when you paraphrase something funny, right? It makes it extra funny. Like when you explain a joke that you're totally laughing. But anyway, so girl Kevin making me mad, right? Girl Kevin making me mad because she's sleeping on all of my clothes and getting them disgusting and now I have to rewash them and it's a real problem. Can't stop, won't stop. And now Riley, my golden retriever, she can't even come hang because she is... Can you not destroy my racquetball, please? Can you not... Don't do that. Don't destroy my racquetball. Kevin got a hold of my racquetball and he's destroying it. I don't even play racquetball, so I guess it's fine. So Riley can't even, it's so sad. She just heard her name and I heard her little caller like jingle jingle. Oh, do you hear that little caller? She's like, you're talking about me? I am talking about you, but you can't come up here because we got stairs. And she is imprisoned into the other room because she tore her ACL. Again, her other one. She tore the one. It was so expensive. It was like $6,500. It was so expensive. And now her other one went out. But thankfully, we have pet insurance that's going to help out a little bit. And another thing, because, well, I mean, look, we're still going to have to pay a chunk, right? Doesn't matter how good your insurance is. You still have to pay a chunk. So we're going to pay a chunk. We're going to fix the dog. But something that's going to make it a little easier is that I'm here to announce... Kevin, you want to come back for the announcement? I'm here to announce that I ain't re-upping. We ain't re-upping on our Disneyland annual passes. It has come to an end. My only friend, the end. It's done. We're done. We went on one last triumphant journey to the magical land of the mouse, and we got our money's worth. Maybe, dude, everything's so expensive. This is the problem. This is why we're not re-upping. So we live in Las Vegas. We have family that lives near Disneyland. So it's and we have a Tesla, so we don't have to pay for gasoline. So it's kind of made sense to get these annual passes and go like once or twice a month, which is so many times, you guys. It's too many. So, and I'll get to that. So it made sense. We crunched the numbers. I don't do math. We crunched the numbers, and Sean was like, if we get this tier of annual pass to Disneyland, it makes sense for our family to go to there throughout the year, and it's going to be great. And it was great for a very long time. And then it wasn't great for also a long time. And now it's over. So everything will be all right. That's a killer song. We just saw them at the Coliseum. They were awesome. But anyway, I'm all over the place. But they are trying to now charge us $5,000 for our 4 Disneyland passes at the tier that makes sense for us to even go. Plus, they're adding more blackout dates. Yay! Plus, the crowds have been worse than they've ever been in the history of Disneyland. Yay! Also, they've raised the price on everything inside the park, even food and drink and all the other things. Hey, yay! Kevin, do you want me to talk quieter? I don't know what's going on with Kevin. Okay, fine. Okay, I'm going to talk in normal volume now. He gets mad when I talk loud, which is all the time. But yeah, so, Disneyland's great, but I do believe that there is such a thing as too much of a good thing, and perhaps that we have, perhaps we are in that territory. We first went to Disneyland when we had, two tiny little kids. Calvin was a baby, and then Chloe was super tiny. She was like 3. She was in her little floofy outfits, and all of the chaos and stress and Panic Meister behavior with the sweaty spaghetti. It all kind of it's fine when you see the smile of your child meeting Mickey or meeting a princess. And you're just like, you're in tears, right? In that moment, when your daughter is singing the Mickey Mouse Club song to Mickey Mouse in front of you, and you're sobbing. You're inconsolable. All of the preparation that it took you for 2.5 days before you left for the trip, it's null and void, right? It doesn't matter. Because look at the joy on this child's face that she's not going to remember in 4 years. Look at the joy. It's all about the joy. I just need the joy. But it's so magical, you guys. And like the parades, and your little kid is like waving at a princess, and she waves back, and you're like, oh my God, you're having a magical experience. And then when your child waves at Belle and Belle doesn't wave back, you're like, I'm going to cut you. I'm going to walk up there in the middle of the parade, and I'm going to slice that yellow dress into shreds if you don't wave at my child. You flip so quick, right? No. All the princesses have been like so sweet. And that's the thing. I just think about like, ouch, I just hit my funny bone on my table. Ow, it's so tingly. That's the thing about like, I've always wondered that about princesses at Disneyland, right? Like what kind of training goes into that? Because they're so good. These princesses are so good. They're so sweet to the kids. They spend just the right amount of time. They don't get irritated. They don't get annoyed. For the most part, they can just like translate complete gibberish, right? Like that was my kids are a little bit older now, but when they were super small and we got the annual passes and all the magic was still happening and we were like all in, right? We're a Disney family. We're all in. It like blew my mind how some of these princesses would like go up to my daughter, and my daughter would be like, and then Jasmine would be like, yes, we did eat hot dogs in Agrabah. I'm so glad you asked. And I'd be like, no, you didn't. I saw the movie. There weren't no hot dogs in Agrabah. What are you saying? But she's so sweet, right? And she'll talk to my kids about hot dogs in Agrabah for like 20 minutes. And I'm sobbing. Also, knowing there's no hot dogs in Agrabah, but also knowing that my kid is having the most magical moment of all time that she's not going to remember in 5 years, but also just enjoying all of it, soaking it in like a sponge, loving it. So I'm like, okay, you got these princesses. They're so good at what they do. All of them. They're all of them, right? They all have to have the same autograph, so that whether you got their autograph in 1984 or yesterday, it's the same, which is like astounding. It's amazing how they've like kept the signature. It's like so cool, right? It's magical. It's great. They do such a good job. But I'm like, what is this princess training? How do you apply for that job? Do you go, fill out the application and then you go in for the interview and you're like, yeah, well, I've actually been playing Ariel on the birthday party circuit for like 5 years. So I think I'm just ready to step it up and work at the park. And then at that point, are they like, oh, really? You've been impersonating one of our copyrighted characters and not sharing the profits for how long? Interesting. Like, how does that work? I've been illegally playing Princess, who's the Sleeping Beauty? But I've been illegally playing Princess Aurora for the last 10 years. So I think I'm qualified to play Princess Aurora in the park. Get her! They just instantly arrest her, and we never see her again. She goes to Disney jail, and she's gone forever. The mouse makes it disappear. So, I do kind of miss that, because here's the problem we ran into with getting annual passes for too long. When we first started going, our kids were super little and the magic was so real. They didn't know what they were missing. They just went on whatever ride we told them to. It blew their minds. We sobbed and it was great. But then when you go too many times and your kids get a little bit older, they start, oh my gosh. Not cool, Din Djarin. Not cool. Why did that happen? Yo, Mando, cool it. My Mandalorian action figure just had narcolepsy and fell asleep on my set and scared me. Oh my gosh, where am I at? Oh yeah, okay, so the kids start to take ownership of the park, right? They're like, this is ours now. We've been here so many times. We've been here once a month for 4 years. This is ours now, and we know exactly what rides we want to go on, and we don't care if the line is 75 minutes, 3 hours, or 5 minutes. It doesn't matter. We're going on it. And then you're just like having the fight with them. We're like, no, we have the app. We know the process. We're seasoned theme park people. We know that you got to go here and you got to go here and you strategize. And then as you're explaining this, the kids are already crying. They don't care. They want to do what they want to do because they, at that point, they do know what they're missing because they've been to Disneyland so many times. So I do kind of miss the days when it was all very new and Chloe was super small and she'd go to meet the princesses, which at the time wasn't a waste of time because now when we spend 30 minutes waiting to meet Ariel, who we've met 25 times already this year, I'm like, we could be standing in line for Rise of the Resistance, you guys. We could be knocking out a half an hour, going down the greatest ride of all time. But no, we gotta meet Ariel, and that's fine. But during the early days, you know, it's just so sweet when you have a little kid who is meeting a character. And when you're a mom and you're in that moment of your child meeting a princess at Disneyland, you have three jobs, right? You gotta film it. You gotta enjoy it somehow. Like you have to watch it, but you also have to film it. You have to film it and keep them in frame, and you have to enjoy the moment. And also you have to translate your child's gibberish to the princess like you're some kind of diplomat. She's on her political tour and you're a diplomat and she's going up to Ariel. And like I said, for the most part, they're really good at translating child talk. But my child had a particularly interesting way of speaking when she was very small. So I'm there like holding the phone with a big smile, also sobbing, also trying to enjoy the moment, also trying to keep the framing good so I can never watch this video back ever again, just like the other 85,000 videos on my phone. And then also my daughter is like in her floofy dress, like walking up to Ariel, just like, you like yo, go. Go. Hey yo, go. And then Ariel's like, she's so sweet. She has like a big smile on her face, and she's like got Chloe's hands, and she's like, I don't have what? Looking up at me, right? Like looking up at me, but also paying attention to my child, but also looking up at me, just like I don't have any idea what she's saying. And I'm like, she really likes your skirt. I yell through the tears, holding the phone, trying to film it, trying to enjoy the moment, also translating for my child. So that's a very intense moment for the mom. And I got really good at it. Go. She really likes your skull. Oh, I'm sorry, skirt. She really likes your skirt. Oh, princess, thank you so much. Yeah, they're so super sweet. They're so super sweet. But you know what, Disneyland, here's the problem. When I was growing up, I lived in Southern California, and every single person that came to visit us, what did they want to do? They wanted to go to Disneyland. I'm going to Disneyland. It's kind of like when you live in Vegas, everybody comes to visit you. What do they want to do? Let's go to the Strip. Oh my God, let's go to the Strip. And that's fine. Like when you live in a tourist destination, you just have to accept the fact that everybody who comes to visit you is going to want to go do the touristy thing. And that's great. That's great. Like 99% of the time, I'm on board. Let's do it. So growing up in Southern California, when I was on all that, I was living in Riverside, and I would stay in LA for the weeks that we were filming all that, or if I had an audition or whatever, like I would stay in LA. But for the most part, on the weekends, you know, when I wasn't filming, I was living in Riverside, California, which again, not too far of a drive from Disneyland. One of my fans commented, was like, do you even breathe during your podcast? I'm like, I don't have time. I don't have time to breathe. I do talk very fast, don't I? So maybe I just need to take a moment. I don't like the silence. Okay, anyway, so when you live in Southern California, everybody who comes down, they want to go to Disneyland. And even as a kid, it got to the point where I was going to Disneyland so many times that I was over it. Like, I was done. Like, I'm like, there's only so many times I can just go stand in the heat and wait in these lines. And that's such a spoiled mentality, right? I mean, that's the thing, is that on one hand, I'm like, I don't ever want to go back. And then on the other hand, I'm like, Disneyland should be way cheaper because everybody needs to experience it, especially kids. And these prices are outrageous. Again, when you have annual passes, you're not really keeping track of if there's deals or, giveaways or whatever, how often those happen. But I'm just like, every kid needs to experience Disneyland. Like, they have to, they need to. So these prices being so outrageous, it's just not fair. Like, it's not fair to the families who can't afford it, because every kid needs to experience this and experience the magic and that joy. It's all about the joy. So on one hand, I'm like, I don't want to go, but everyone else should go. What was I saying? Yeah, so I would go to Disneyland so many times, and I would always promise myself, and I know that my parents heard me say this so many times, I always promised myself, I was like, I'm never, ever going to be a parent at a theme park with a stroller. It's never going to happen, ever. I'm not doing it. I was like passionate about this vow it was like a blood oath to myself. I'm like, I'm never doing this. I can't stand these strollers and these parents in the stroller. And I vividly remember just like, I'm never doing that. And my parents just chuckling and be like, stupid idiot. And now I've done it more than anybody I know. Now I've been to Disneyland with my kids in a massive stroller more than anybody I've ever met in my life. And we are super blessed to have been able to do that for the last couple of years. Even though the last couple trips haven't been super magical, because again, my kids, they get spoiled and then they kind of throw fits at the park and it's not as magical as it used to be. We've still had some amazing memories and like family moments at the park. Two that come to mind. So I'll start off with a sweet, cute one, and then I'll move on to a just like the stupidest thing that ever happened. So I think this was like 2 years ago. Chloe was super into Frozen, as all the little girls are. She was dressed as Elsa. She was at the park. We bought her this little armband. It's like a web shooter, except instead of shooting webs, it shot out poison darts. Just kidding. It shot out mist, like ice, like cold mist. Like she's Elsa, like so she's casting ice magic, and she's having a grand old time walking around the park, just using her ice magic on stuff. And we're just having we're loving it. We're loving it. So we go to Cars Land. And we go to meet Mater, because not only was she a girly girl who loved Frozen and princesses, she was a tomboy who could name every character in the Cars movies and has every diecast Cars character upstairs. It's crazy. So she goes to meet Mater, and she goes up, and just because she's a little kid and she's so cute and she's so small, she uses her ice magic to freeze Mater. She uses it on Mater. And then all of a sudden the cast member is like, oh, What did you do? And then Mater turns off. His engine turns off. And everyone standing around just goes, what? What is happening? And the cast member's like, oh, Elsa, you froze Mater with your magic. And in that moment, I'm looking in my daughter's eyes, and she's like, I am magical. I did that. Everyone in the area is looking over at the spell that I just cast. Oh my gosh, I'm magical. And of course, that's when the waterworks start. And your girl's just, I'm crying. I'm like, they're so nice to her, and she's having a magical moment. And oh my God, I love Disneyland, but also I hate Disneyland, but I love it so much. Oh my God. And then they were like, you gotta hug him to warm him back up, to get him to to unfreeze him. And so again, like he's off. Like, you know, the character of Mater, he's like, he usually talks and he's got this loud engine and he beeps his horn and like, oh, God, you know, consarn it, or like whatever he says. And then, but he's like totally off. And like I said, everybody in the area was just like, what's going on? So she goes over and hugs him. And what happens? His engine starts back up again and his horn goes and his lights turn on and everyone's like applauding. And my daughter's having the most magical moment of her entire life that she's not going to ever remember. But I'll remember it. I will remember it. So that's just one example of how these cast members, so many times I've witnessed them going above and beyond just to make a little kid feel so good and feel, you know, like a real superhero or a real princess. And that just completely warms my heart. They do such a good job. It's interesting experiencing the park when you have super little kids, because it really is a different experience. Like, you really do see cast members and characters kind of going out of their way for the little kids. And you don't really see that as much, obviously, when you're an adult and a teenager. You know, they're still nice to you, but like they really will give them a cool experience. So that's one moment where I'm just like, Disneyland rules. I love it here. This is awesome. And then our last trip, we went to California Adventure. We're waiting in line. And I'm like, I think I got a beverage, right? I think I have a beer because you can buy beer in California Adventure. Thank God. So we're waiting in line for Ariel. Sean and Calvin and Chloe are waiting in line for Ariel, where there's like a railing, and I'm down more. It's kind of doing a bad job of explaining this. Basically, I'm not in the queue. I'm to the side of the queue. I'm a rider. I'm next to the queue. They're in the queue. They're looking down on me like it's a balcony. And I'm like, have fun, you guys. I'm going to be down here finishing my beer because of priorities. And as Chloe's looking over the railing and talking to me, she gets her leg stuck in the railing. She gets her leg stuck. She panics. She's a panicker. And she's like, oh my God, I can't give it up. And she's crying. Immediately, the tears, she's freaking out. Sean's freaking out. Calvin doesn't know what to do. I don't know what to do. We're just like, oh my gosh, like, are you okay? She's like, I'm in so much pain. I can't feel my legs. This is horrible. She's like, her knee is like stuck in the railing. She can't get it out. We're trying everything to like help get her leg out. We can't. I have to like go get help. I have to like run across to like find the street, the busy street of Disneyland, to like find a cast member, like, help, won't someone help me? And finally, like, a cast member's like, yes, of course, like, we'll get help. And they like go. And then like they're like rallying cast members. They're like, go help this little girl. She's stuck. Timmy's stuck in the well again. Lassie, get Lassie. Roar, roar, roar. Help. Annie, it's chaos, right? And this goes on for like minutes. I don't know. It felt like a lifetime, but I'm sure it's not a very long time. So it goes on for minutes. And I'm seeing cast members like rushing this way. And then I turn around to look at Chloe. And her leg's out. Her leg is out of the railing. It's not stuck anymore. And I'm just like, Chloe. And she's like, what? I don't know. I just got it out. Oh my gosh. They're about ready to get the fire department here. Like, not even the Disney fire department, like the actual Anaheim fire department. Like people are like ready. They're going to get the jaws of life. They're going to saw this railing in half. Like, we got to save this kid. And meanwhile, Chloe's just like, I don't know. I just wiggled it and got it out. And it also doesn't look good that I'm the mom panicking and trying to help the situation while holding a full beer. Right? That doesn't look great. Like, I wasn't drunk or anything, but like it just doesn't look good when you're running through the streets of Disneyland while trying not to spill your $20 beer saying, help, my daughter's stuck, help. And then she was fine. And so you can imagine how fun it was for me and Sean to tell all those cast members and medics and first responders, she's good. She just wiggled it. She's fine. All good. Nothing to see here, folks. It's all good. Oh my gosh, I was so embarrassed. I was so embarrassed. Like it went from 0 to 10 so fast, and then it went from 10 to 0 so fast. And I'm just like, I can't. I think I just chugged the beer, and I'm like, I gotta get out of this park. Are we on time? Oh my gosh, you guys. I'm getting so good. You know that superpower where you're able to return to the microwave when it's got like 1 second left and you're like, yes! And you feel so good. You're like, yeah, I can judge time. That's kind of how I feel doing this podcast lately. I'm able to just be like, it kind of feels like I should wrap it up. And then I lean over and it's like exactly 30 minutes. I'm like, yes, short drive podcast. We're doing it. Anyway, thank you guys for listening. Episode 52. Remember, I got merch coming really soon. My store is like almost done. I'm working on the Shopify. It's nearly done. It looks good. And remember, if you're in Vegas for any Tuesday coming up, I got a residency at the Punk Rock Museum. My band is playing every Tuesday. We have a total blast. You don't know what to expect. We're going to play covers, anything from Misfits to like Backstreet Boys to like just total chaos. It's a lot of fun. And I think that's all I got, you guys. Thank you for all your kind comments last week, your encouraging, kind, supportive comments. I read every single one of them. I don't always have time to reply, but the first 2 days that I post a podcast, I really read and respond to comments as much as I can. So yeah, leave me a comment. I love you guys. You guys are so awesome. Take care. Have a great rest of your week. Mwah! Disneyland is mostly people pointing. That's what I've noticed. Just mostly people pointing. Hey. I'm going to miss that pointing.